Okay, now at Hedley-on-the-Hill, just outside the Feathers Inn there. I'm going to be doing a hill-to-hill walk from Hedley-on-the-Hill to Harlow Hill through Northumbrians, Whittledean. Full of cold at the moment, so we'll see how far it goes. Originally this was going to be a circular, it was going to be 18 mile. I'm just going to do half the route this time. I'll save the circular for a bit time when I'm a bit better health. Right, Purist, just behind the inn there, I don't know if you can see it, probably not. There's a footpath that leads up to Hedley Reservoir. Now, Purist would start there because that's the summit, but I can't really see the point of just going up there to come back down when I'm full of cold. So, let's get started. Now we're going to take a footpath here. Let's see if we can get it here. Along there. And that goes to High Mickley. So it goes along a track called Ward Lane. It looks as though it used to be an old wagon way, but it wasn't. It was like an old track. It's quite an old track. It's been there for a while. Okay, there's the start of the track. There's some nice views over there. It's a little bit foggy at the moment, or better on the top there. Not foggy, just like misty-ish. I debated whether to wear boots or whether to wear trainers for this, because there's quite a lot of road work at the end to get back home. So I plugged for trainers. You can see it's quite overgrown. Maybe boots would have been a better choice. I think it all depends on whether you're planning on doing a lot of road work afterwards or not. Just crossed a couple of fields, popular with dog walkers because they don't clean up their mess with them. Just had to stop to put on some insect repellent because there's quite a lot of flies even though it's early in the morning. It's not too bad, quite pleasant, quite easy to walk. A lot of horses in fields. I don't know if I can get them behind me there. Maybe not. There's one on the other side of me. Let's see. Some people are fussed with cows. For me it's horses. I just have a bad rep with them. I've been charged by them, I've been bitten by them, I've been thrown by them. Me and horses just don't get on very well at all, which is quite sad considering my great-great-grandfather was a horse dealer. But never mind. In any case, let's get on. Still got quite a bit of way to go. Let's see. This path's not very well trodden. It's probably best to wear boots next time, but never mind. Trainers are a little wet now. There's Hedley-on-the-Hill up there I've just come from. You can see there's no well trodden path, I'm just walking across the field. It's the proper right way though. Move over there. We've got, whoa, that's the weirdest hoverfly I've ever seen. Over there is High on Woods, which is where the Hedley Park pit was in some of my old videos. I've walked through them woods quite often. It's the first time on this route, so I'm heading up there, up towards the end corner of this field, and then that should take me on to Ward Lane proper. That there. Maybe not. Not edit that out. Yeah, it's Hedley in the background behind me there. Where I've come from. Quite an easy walk. Hedley was one of the few places but didn't get attacked by the Scots. I don't think they like walking up the hill. So it's a bit out of the way, to be honest. I think the Scots probably didn't even know it existed. That's why they left it alone. Apparently there's a saying at Hedley: if you can't see the chief yet, then it means it's raining. And if you can't see the chief yet, it means it's gonna rain. It's a nice view over there. But I don't think this camera's going to pick it up. You can see all the way to Hexham. You can see Eggers in the bottom of the valley there. There's up to Hedley. Higher woods in the bottom there. This is Ward Lane that I'm on at the moment. As you can see, it's just a footpath. It was never ever a wagon way. Hi Mickley now. Nice little hamlet this. Although I wouldn't like to live here in the winter. It'd be a nightmare to get in here with the snow. But, over there on the valley there is Ovington. Not really going there today. If I was doing the circle I would have gone through Ovington coming back. Just taking a little break here, have some water and try and stop sneezing for a bit. Seems to be working talking instead of sneezing. Now those trees in the valley there, and going up through those trees there and then up onto the hill, at the Harlow Hill, that's where Hadrian's Wall is. And I'll come along, you'll not see any wall there now, like all the stone was taken to build houses and stuff. But I'll follow the track of the wall a bit further along the Hadrian's Wall path, and then I'll drop into Wylam. Good work now. And this from High Mickley, and go straight down almost down to Cherryburn Cottage, where the home of Thomas Buick, the printer. It's now in National Trust hands, and then just behind Buick's old place, I'll pick up the path again and we head towards Prudhoe and Ovington, cross over at Ovington Bridge, go behind Ovington Church and pick up the path again through Whittledean and follow Whittledean all the way up past the reservoirs and up to Harlow Hill. That clump of trees over there, that's where we're headed. That's Harlow Hill on the horizon there. There's Ovington. If I remember rightfully, somewhere around about there where that little building is where Mickley Pit used to be. This is Cherryburn, home of Thomas Buick, now in the National Trust. You'll not really see much now because of the trees. It's just on that track. Nice place to visit if you've got National Trust membership, which I don't. The circular, you'll come back via Ovington, which is over there, and then you would, let me see if I can get my finger there. There's Ovington, and then you would follow down this path across this field, there's a public right away, and you follow the river along, you cross that Biowell through Stocksfield, and then you come up New Ridley Road, and then back up to Hedley-on-the-Hill, that New Ridley Road. I'll post the route for both what I'm doing today and what the circular would have been if I was feeling a bit better. Okay, I don't know if you can get that or not. There's a canny sized bull there. In the same field as two horses. I'm glad I don't have to cross that field. Yep, we'll follow this pathway up to where Aldringham Pit used to be, on the outskirts of Prudhoe, and we'll drop down to Ovington Bridge. There's a field you don't want to cross in a hurry. I'm glad the path doesn't go that way. I like this little track. You could just imagine Buick walking it back in the days. Looks like it's been here for a long time. I think it might have actually been one of the main roads between Newcastle and Hexham at one point. Who knows? I'll have to check on the maps. Have a look. I know it's been here for a while. It's a nice place here. Horsley. You go beyond Horsley. It's difficult to see. Some little trees. Let's see if I can get it. Just there. That's Harlow Hill. That's where we're headed. Yeah, they're busy protesting against them building some houses in the old Hammerite car park down there, which is a bit silly really, because where that car park is used to be a village, so all they're doing is rebuilding the houses that used to be there. It's not as if it's a greenfield site, it's an old brownfield site. But, there's much, I mean, I'm all for them saving green spaces, but that's not a green space, it's a car park, for crying out loud. This is the site of Eltringham Pit, which I've covered in the Mines of Prudhoe video I did. Hang on, there we go. That was the pit shaft underneath all that concrete. Finally reopened Ovington Bridge after it's been closed for a couple of years. They should have just torn it down and built a new bridge and stuck this one in Beamish where it belongs. Never mind. Let's see how long it lasts this time. That's the River Tyne. I'll cross it soon over the bridge. We've got Whittledean up to Nafferton, and from Nafferton head up to Harlow Hill. Northumbrians at the moment. I'm in Whittledean now. Follow this woodland path. We'll follow this up to Harlow Hill really, up the reservoirs and then from the reservoirs up the Harlow Hill itself. Nice little stream down the bottom there. Comes with lots of problems when it floods. It's a nice little path this. It's better than I remember it. We used to have to do cross country here when we were at school. I think we did it for the first time, and then after that we used to hide somewhere and then join everyone at the back when they came back to the school. I don't mind walking, but running is not my scene. Here's the site of the old watermill. Let's see, get a bit closer. There you go. Now this was still in use in 1899, but then the maps for 1919 show it as in disused. So sometime between 1899 and 1919 it became disused. That's where the wheel used to be. We'll have a look inside. It's one of the highlights of this walk, to be honest. There's one more highlight at Harlow Hill, which I don't think there's anything there, but an interesting story nonetheless. Oh, there's two more highlights actually. Here's inside the old mill. There were no coal mines in Ovingdom. Between Ovingdom and Hexham, on this side of the river, there's no mines. They stopped at Horsley Woods between Wylam and Ovingdom, and then on the other side of the river they kind of stop at the start of Stocksfield really. So little holiday chalets. When we were kids we used to call it the shanty town. To be honest, I'm going to have to check the map. I'm not sure which way I need to go. We'll have a look. On this side of the stream, I'll go up to where the old reservoir was for the mill, and then skirt that and then head up to the big reservoirs before getting to Harlow Hill. Now before I go, I just want to show this. This insect repellent is brilliant at stopping the flies. You're going to get those black flies that hassle you. They just disappear when you stick that stuff on. It don't stop the midges, but it stops them biting. And so far it hasn't stopped ticks, but it stops them latching on. You still have to brush them off your leg, like, but they don't latch on. But it's really good for the flies. very good. Some more ruined buildings from the old mill, which is at least 19th century. It's marked on the oldest maps, so it could even go back further to the 18th century. It was definitely in operation for nearly 100 years, I think. This is a wall here. If you can make that out. Underneath that ivy is like a wall area, which looks as though it formed part of the reservoir for the operation of the wheel. And that gap, there would have probably been a wooden sluice that went across there, and then through those trees where the mill is, it would have poured onto the wheel to turn the wheel. Yeah, something nice. I'll share with my daughter when I get home. A little fairy door to the tree. That one's been used for kids. There's the remains of something down there. I'm not exactly sure what. Might be connected to the mill. A bit difficult to catch on the camera with all the tree leaves. It's like a square structure next to the stream. And there's a little bit of a wall over there underneath the undergrowth over there. Difficult to catch on the camera. Someone's den. It's a nice little wood, this. Next woodland. Be nice in early summer if all these bluebells come out. Have to come again when they're out. There's plenty of them. Question is that just referring to this little fenced area, or does it continue up the pathway? I think it's just this fenced area, it must be, because I have to go up that path. I'm not turning around. Now we cross the A69. It's a shame we couldn't follow the Dean Port road. This road's busy splitting things off. So we're stuck here. I'll show you something. I'll switch the camera view. Where there are trees join the field there. If we get that field of some trees, that follows the Dean that we were following before. We'll join it again in a minute. But just behind them trees is the remains of Lonkin Hall. Try to speak a bit louder because of the traffic. Let's switch it. Hang on, let's switch it back to me. There you go. Right. Lonkin Hall. If I followed the Dean a bit further up past the 69, you'll have seen the remains of Lonkin Hall. Now, originally Lonkin Hall was a 13th century castle. And it was started to be built. The Emperorvilles of Prudhoe Castle complained to King John that they didn't have the proper permission to build a fortified structure so close to Prudhoe Castle, and they felt that a new castle here would have taken away some of the power from Prudhoe Castle. So King John ordered the castle to be pulled down, and most of the remains went up to Bamborough Castle to help build Bamborough Castle a bit more. And so at the moment it's a bit of a good place for archaeologists, because it shows like how the foundations of the castles at that time were built. because like nowadays, like most of the medieval castles have had lots of things added on and stuff like that. This is like the original planning. Now, we get to about 15th, 16th century. There's a fella called Lang Lonkin. He was a bit of a rogue. He was a robber, highwayman, and described as a pirate even. Now he made that as his hideout. It was quite well known, but that was his hideout. And there was a border ballad made about him. And he fell out with the Lord of Welton Hall, which we'll pass later on. And one night he had gone up to Welton Hall when the Lord was away, and he tricked the lady to come down with her baby, and he murdered the baby and the lady, and then he hid out in his hideout. And apparently there used to be a secret passage between the remains of the castle and Nafferton Farm. That's where he hid out. But then later he committed suicide. Well, so they say he committed suicide on a tree because of the guilt. Chances are that he was lynched by the locals. But it's an interesting story. It's a shame that we can't actually go there and have a look for the remains. Never mind, onwards and upwards. I'm not far off from Harlow Hill now. I'll switch the view and I'll show you. Those trees on the far horizon, that's up at Harlow Hill, that's where we're headed now. We've just crossed the other side of the A69 now. The signpost is a bit worn. Underneath it says Welton Hall, 1 3/4 miles. That's where we're headed now. This could be a tricky one, this like. The second I crossed the stye I could smell it. You can smell the cows in this field. You cannot see any. Everything screams and ball. And just underneath those trees, you can see them sitting there. There's more than one, so suggests that it's not a bull at least. Maybe bullocks, which is not so bad then. Oh, it's not like cows with those calves like we saw before. I have to go past there and now. I'll find out. Cows with calves. I'm supposed to put them on right away. I can't go over the fence either. Oh well, see you in the next life. I've aired on the side of caution. The cows and calves came out of the bushes and blocked my path. Now let's see if I can get my finger there. I'm here, so I'm on this corner here. I needed to be along here, up the spittle. So I can't get past here because of the cows and calves. So I've backtracked to the stye here. I'm going to try and get off onto this road here and come up here and rejoin the trail there. I think that's the safest course of action. There's the young bullocks. They're not the problem. It's their mammies over there that's the problem. They're pretty harmless, Evans. Never mind, we'll do a detour. Right. I'm on the old A69 now, before the dual carriageway adjacent to it was built. This used to be the A69 I'm walking on now. But, this is quite a considerable detour, this way. If it was just one or two blocking the path, I would have took my chance and gone for it. But the entire herd moved out of the trees, started blocking the path, and then the mother started standing up. I went, alright, it's time to leave this field. But, not worth it. I'm full of cold at the moment and don't really have the energy for legging it. And the other side of the fence was a sheer drop to the stream, so that wasn't no good either. So I thought about cutting across the field back, but to be honest it was just as quick to come back to the 69 and walk this bit. And now I'm thinking whether I should shorten my route and just use the old single lane track all the way up to Harlow Hill to finish it, because this detour is going to cost me time and I really need to be in Wylam for 3 o'clock. So I'll see what the time is when I get to the junction and I make up my mind then whether I've got time to do the reservoirs or not. It's a hot day today. Originally I was headed for that farm over there, that's called Spiddle, and I was going to go through them trees, past the reservoirs, up to that other farm up there, which is Lonkin Hall, and then cut across up to there to the military road, and then up that hill to Harlow Hill. And now that I'm on this road, which goes directly to Harlow Hill, where that car's coming from, Harlow Hill's up there. There's Harlow Hill. So I think because it's 2 o'clock, I need to be in Wylam for 3 o'clock, so I've got an hour. I'm just going to walk straight up this hill in this heat as well. So there's not much really footage to take until I get to the top now. Yeah, there's the farm where I should have headed to. Yeah, and then we're going up around that wood, just behind that, was it there? It's Lonkin Hall, but there, that field there, I don't know if you can see it or not, but I would have had even bigger problems crossing that field than the one I turned back on. Well, here you can see the road straight to the top, so I'll just stay on this road. It seems silly to take a massive detour just to get to the same spot. Really the only reason why I would have gone the other way was because I was on the path that went that way. But also I wanted to kind of go to Lonkin Hall just to complete the Lang Lonkin story, you know. Harlow Hill. Over there on the top of that horizon. And all the way down. And all the way up here. That's where Hadrian's Wall used to be. And behind them houses was a camp found when Kingdom of Northumbrian was at war with Mercia. So an Anglo camp rather than the Roman one. Now head back to Wylam.